Hey y'all, it's Mike, and recently at Big Peach Running Company we put together this terrific video on support tops and sports bra fittings, but not surprisingly, especially with such a relatively neglected topic, it ended up being pretty long. In fact, even with our producer Dave's amazing edits, it was almost 20 minutes. So what we did is we actually boiled it down to two different videos. This first video that you're going to see is the importance of being fit for a support top, as well as some things that'll kind of turn you on to how these products are made, including the biomechanic testing that goes into them. If you want to see the other video, just click the link above. But this particular video, go ahead and listen to it, look at it, learn something, and know that there's a second video for you that'll be here as well. Greetings, friends. My name is Mike Cosentino with Big Peach Running Company, and a couple of team members of mine not too long ago said something to me that was so revealing. They said, we do such a great job of fitting our guests for shoes, but we hardly ever talk about what we do when our female guests need to get fit for a support top. It's just one of those topics that a lot of people don't want to spend a lot of time talking about, but we're going to change all that today. I've got a couple of friends of mine who are going to join me. We're going to just put that topic out there on the table. And for so many of you who haven't thought about it recently, and maybe even far more of you who are not yet wearing the right support top, we're going to give you what you need to think about. So first, here on my right is Matt Weber. Matt and I have known each other for a long time. Big Peach Running Company was incepted in 2004. And Matt, I believe we've known each other now for 12 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It is a long time, but you've become a great friend to our organization. And just as importantly, for this conversation, Matt, as the territory manager for both Brooks and Moving Comfort, is a genuine expert. I know that some might say, why don't you call this Bros on Bras or something like that? What we're not going to do is tell you that we know everything. We've got another guest who's going to join us.
Exactly.
But for the time being, I think you and I believe that Moving Comfort for a long time has made the best sports bra in the market. But whether that's true or not, or whether someone feels the exact same way, why would you say that that is true? What does Moving Comfort do with their technology that you believe is so important everyone should know about?
I think the most important thing with Moving Comfort is basically the adjustability. I think it all kind of boils down to that perfect fit for you. There are a lot of sports bras in the world, and ours are really kind of engineered to fit you perfectly with the little adjustments that we put in. They're also based on the amount of support that you want for different activities. There is no one perfect sports bra for every single person, just like there is not one perfect shoe for every single person. Sure. It's really based upon what you're looking to get out of your sports bra, what type of activities you're doing, how often you're working out, and are you riding your bike some days? Are you running some days? And they're really kind of engineered based on biomechanics.
When you mention biomechanics, it makes me think that level of detail is also important for support tops. Is that true?
You're exactly right. I think most people have assumed that, we do biomechanic testing with footwear only, right? We're putting sensors on the body, we're putting people on the treadmill, and we're recording them as they move. Well, the same technology the same insight is coming from the support top side. We're using sensors, we're using women on treadmills, and we're actually measuring the amount of bounce, the amount of support, the amount of natural movement in a woman's body to help develop our bras.
That's awesome. That's part of why they fit so well and why Moving Comfort and Brooks can make some of the claims they do. It is scientific.
It's very scientifically based.
So there's a lot of variation in just as much as the activity, and one of the things that Moving Comfort does so well, in my opinion, is it fits, athletes of every ability and every body type. It truly is one of those things that's a customized product.
Okay.
But here's something I heard recently, and you can confirm if it's true or not. I heard that almost 80% of women who are wearing a support top are wearing the wrong support top or the incorrect size.
Correct.
Is that a fair statement?
That is.
So if you think about, hey, you know what, we're guys.
Yep.
What do we know, right? Doesn't
Never
really
tried
matter
one
what
in
we
my
think.
life.
That's exactly right. I think we also can agree that in our world, women are almost always right?
Correct.
But here's 80% making the wrong decision. That's staggering. How is that possible? What is it that they're not taking into account enough to make the right choice?
And I don't think it's anything that they're doing wrong, but typically what we see is that the band is too big and the cup is a little bit too small.
So that's big. That's actually tweetable. If you have ever been in the wrong support top, or you haven't wanted to tell a friend that, hey, I'm not so sure you're wearing the right one, the band is too big.
Correct. Which is leading to the chafing. Correct.
Chafing because the band's too big.
Because the band is too big. You should be able to fit about 2 fingers underneath the band at any time. And about 80% of the support should be in the band.
And then the
Not
cup
in
is
the
too
straps.
small for many women.
Correct. So when the band is a little bit too big, they feel it's a little too loose, their automatic assumption is to go down in a cup size.
So common mistake. We're gonna see if that holds any water, because guess what? This is who I have as our really special guest, not just because of the fact that she's a team member of ours. Rachel Tucker here to my left is our general manager in our Marietta location. But before we had the good fortune of having Rachel as part of our team, I got to know Rachel personally, and I know that she is a consumer of these types of products, as a user who does a lot of activities, as a mom with additional hobbies. She's someone that can really validate what you're saying, as well as give us some things to think about. So Rachel, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. You heard Matt say a lot of people are incorrectly fit, bands too big, cups too small. What are some of the things that now you know, because you're around product catalogs, you're around people like Matt Weber, that you wish you would have known when you weren't with Big Pete's Running Company?
How important it is to properly be fit in your support top. How important it is to get that band just right for you, to provide the best support and to help reduce uncomfortable situations like chafing.
Extra did you chase? I mean, was that something that was an issue?
It's a very real thing. It's very painful, honestly, and it actually will. If too much of it too often is happening, women won't work out or be doing the same activities that they love.
And are there women out there that are chafing around their support top and not chafing anywhere else?
Right, exactly.
Rachel, one of the things that I heard not too long ago, and this is disturbing to me on a number of levels, but someone said, or it was read or reported, that up to 40% of women who would like to work out do not for one reason alone. And that is because they believe they're, and Matt, you use the term, have too much bounce. And it's embarrassing that they're going to be seen out doing their exercise of choice, let's say it's running or CrossFit, because of that bounce. 4 in 10. Disturbing, because I think about my wife or my daughter, and to not be able to go out comfortably and confidently to do what she wants because of this that I can't quite get in her head and say, here's how you solve for that. But you might be able to, given your own personal experience, knowing what you know professionally. What would you say to that woman who right now is part of that 40%, is not working out, or is not working out as regularly as she should because of the bounce, or maybe just the inappropriate sports bra fit?
I would let her know that we have something for her. We have something that's comfortable and supportive and cute and stylish all at the same time.
That's important too,
Because that's
right?
important
Yes,
too.
okay, I get that.
And that it doesn't have to be intimidating, or that you have to be shy or embarrassed by that. I mean, we're all women, we're all different shapes and sizes and fitness levels, and we've all had to start somewhere. And that's what we're here to do, is to help make that woman feel confident and comfortable with us in providing a fit.
So that's a great lead in, because I think it's important that, you know, and I mentioned shoes, and it's easy for me to do so, partially as a guy, partially being in the running industry. There are certain things when somebody comes in to get fit for a pair of shoes, I know we're going to assess their foot shape, you know, how high their arch profile is, how broad or narrow their feet might be. We're going to look at what their gait cycle tendencies are. You know, do they tend to collapse inward? Do they tend to fall to the lateral side when they're walking or running? There are certain things we just know we have to look at. I would imagine the same is true for a support top fitting, but not having been there, knowing we're not going to parade in a model, knowing that you're not going to be able to fit Matt or me with any level of anything but comedy. What is it that has to happen? Maybe in being fit for a bra, whether it's a sports bra or any other kind of bra, what has to be taken into consideration in order for someone to be properly fit?
I start by asking what size they're currently in, if they know.
Okay.
And let them know that we're just going to take 2 quick, simple measurements across the rib cage and across the chest. And we don't even need to be touching the body when we do so. And we can be from behind and be able to get those 2 quick measurements.
You just using a tape measure or
use a
something?
tape measure,
Okay.
and at least give us a good baseline to get started with, and then be able to adjust accordingly for coverage.
Okay. And how much different is a sports bra likely to fit than something that she might be wearing to work or wearing around the house?
I always let them know that they want it comfortably snug.
Okay.
They're aware that it's there and it's supporting, without it being too tight or restricting airway.
Okay. A lot of the fitting considerations are going to be the same, right? Those two measurements that you mentioned, and going back to something Matt said earlier, 2 fingers to be able to get that underneath the band, and ensuring that what seems to be a pretty common mistake if 80% of women are truly in the wrong size, that they're not getting a band that's too loose.
Right.
And then compensating for that by, and I love the term you used earlier, mashing, and then mashing themselves down by trying to compensate that by getting a cup size that's too small.
And a great little tip, I let ladies know when they're in there trying on, doors closed, do a little twist test. If that band is staying with the body when you're twisting, perfect. If that band is sliding around, you're going to chafe. So a quick little twist test is a perfect way to determine if that is a proper fit for you.
Excellent. So one of the things also that I've heard, and you mentioned chafing being such a big issue, especially when a woman's not been fit properly. For someone who has, is Body Glide or some kind of lubricant necessary or still a good idea if you're going to wear a support top
It
on,
can
let's say,
help in a
one day?
pinch, but it's usually an indication that the support has been lost in that top. It's more than likely been washed and worn one too many times when it starts chafing.
So really it shouldn't be necessary when you're properly fit in the bra
shouldn't
and its
be.
core life cycle.
Like with everything, everybody's different skin sensitivity. It's there if you need it, but ideally if you're properly fitted, you shouldn't need it.
So there you have it. Pretty good stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. And now you can watch the second video by clicking the link above. And you should also know that anytime you have questions, just drop your comments below. We'll get back to you right away. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more information and to see more things that I know are going to help you ensure that your best miles are certainly those covered on foot.